Activate the cave. Welcome to the cave of the dog shark. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've not put any content out in a while. It's mostly because I've just took on a new job that's kicking my ass, taking up all my time, and I don't really find too much time for doing these sorts of things anymore. What are we here doing today? Well, today I wanted to make some modifications to some of the guitars that I've got. Specifically, we're talking about some Stratocasters. I've got 3 Fender Stratocasters hanging up on the wall over here. You can just about see part of one there. Whoa. And we're going to be mucking about with 2 of them really, and basically swapping some parts back and forward, bolting some new bits onto one of them, and just changing them up. Now the primary reason for doing this is, let me show you, it begins with this one. So this is a 1999 Floyd Rose classic. You've probably seen, you might have seen me using this in other videos and things like that, but yes, it's a US Strat with a Floyd Rose on it. A bit strange really, isn't it? It's not a usual type Strat, but more specifically it's got triple single coils on it, which is quite an unusual configuration again for anything with a Floyd Rose on it. You tend to get humbuckers, a more modern sort of styled guitar, and that's the thing with this guitar. Originally it was a twin humbucker guitar. There was a humbucker in the neck, humbucker in the bridge, nothing in the middle, and it had 5-way switching, so it had you could switch off the switch between sort of single coil mode and full humbucker and all that stuff, and it was a great guitar, beautiful guitar. Some years ago I was over in the US and I picked up a set of Fender 5762 vintage voiced single coil pickups for it, and I slammed them in, and to be honest the thing sounds fucking great. It sounds amazing. It's got a real sort of old vintage woody tone to it. It sounds really nice, lots of twang, lots of slap, and it sounds great. But it's a bit weird, isn't it, having a guitar with Floyd Rose and 22 frets and triple single coils. So more recently I acquired this. Oh. Some of you might have seen some videos with this in recently. It's a beautiful Mexican made 70s classic Strat, and the point of this is it's very much styled in the style of a 70s Strat. So it has the 3 bolt neck with the micro tilt, the big headstock, the CBS era headstock, the F tuners there you can see. But in every other way it's a classic Strat, triple single coil, 6-point vintage tremolo, and that's it. I mean, there's not much else going on to it. It's pretty much as it is. You know, I've kind of stuck an extra spring in the back there for a bit more trem stability. I'll be honest with you, the Mexi pickups that are in there are a little bit meh. Ever since I've picked that up, I've been thinking, okay, we've got this beautiful set of 5762s in a guitar that they're not really suited for, so what can we do about that? So I'm thinking we pull them out of the Floyd Rose guitar and we put them into the 70s classic. So but that leaves us to decide what to do with the Floyd Rose. What I don't have is you know, your sort of deluxe Strat type configuration where you've got a humbucker in the neck, in the bridge, and then a couple of singles. So I thought, well, why not do that? I mean, that sounds like a plan to me. So to that end, I went away and got a new pick guard for the thing, which has got the cutouts for the humbucker and the single coils, but more specifically it has this bit cut out specifically for Floyd Rose tremolo. So that should just go straight on there, no problem. And we also needed a humbucker to go on there. I had humbuckers from it previously that were the original ones on the guitar, but they were absolutely fucked. I mean, I thought, get on the bay and find a new humbucker, and this is actually a proper Fender one. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's come out of a Mexi. With a Floyd Rose guitar, the spacing at the bridge is slightly different from a a standard Fender tremolo. So it's a little bit wider, everything's a little bit wider, and so you typically have to get what are called F-spaced pickups. So basically the pole pieces fit directly under the strings and everything lines up and it looks nice and all that. Does that mean you can only use F-spaced pickups with a Floyd Rose tremolo? The answer to that is no, absolute bollocks. You don't need F-spaced pickups at all. I don't think this one is F-spaced, but that doesn't worry me too much. It's going to go in anyway, and it's going to look nice, and it's going to play nice, and I can guarantee you it's going to sound nice too. I'm also going to take the time on this little bit of work to give the old Floyd Rose Classic a good clean, a good sort of makeover, run through everything and sort it all out. Obviously, because we're very much rebuilding the wiring, we're going to have all new soldering, all new electronics in there. We're going to reuse as many parts as we can, but we'll probably strip all the wiring out and put in all new wiring, new cloth covered vintage style. So yeah, let's have a little play on them, see what they're sounding like now before we fuck about with them, and then we'll fuck about. And then we'll play them again and see how they sound. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, so let's start with the neck pickup. We're going to go with the bridge pickup here. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that should be an upgrade for the 70s Strat once they come out of there, and be interesting to see how this one ends up with somewhat lesser quality pickups in, but more suited to the style. So yeah, let's get cracking, let's get pulling things apart and see what happens. Right, so we've got our first patient up on the operating table here. And really we're just going to start pulling this thing apart, pulling bits off it. We're going to get into it, giving it a bit of a clean and refreshing bits and pieces on it, but ultimately we're going to pull stuff off this to then do the other one. So at some point we're going to have to put this aside and then come back to it later on. Right, so yeah, I'm just going to start taking everything off this thing and then see where we end up. So yeah, let's go. Somehow the grounds all just fell off, so there you go. We've got 3 grounds coming from the jack socket and the trem claw and the body down here, and they're all nicely clumped together. So yeah, I'm just going to pull everything off this this pick guard now. Do you know what? It's flipping warm in here today. I am going to have to put the fan on, so we're going to get a bit of fan noise, but do you know what? I don't care. Okay, 2 on. Right, so there we go, a whole fucking wiring harness, right? All the pickups with the covers off, the control knobs and the switch, so it's all there, all complete one piece. And this should just pull straight over onto the new guitar, the other guitar, nice and easy, and everything should fit. Right, so the black 70s Strat is all back together. We've got our new, well not new, but repurposed 5762 single coil pickups in there. It's all back together, strings are back on, it's all tuned up. And I'll be honest with you, I've had a cheeky little plug in. I've balanced the pickups and done all the action and all that. And wow, very pleased. So yes, she's a beaut. Alright, next. Right, so this next bit's a little bit more complex in the sense that I'm basically building a whole new wiring harness from scratch, and I'm doing something I've personally never done before, which is combining a humbucker pickup with single coils. So this is going to be, yes, an interesting proposition. Fingers crossed it will all go reasonably smoothly and we'll have no major issues. I'm just going to find a wiring diagram and just follow a wiring diagram. Yeah, I'm going to try and reuse as much from the Mexi as I can, and then see where we end up. So first things first, I might just take everything apart. I was rewiring that stupid Telecaster the other day. It seems to be a Fender Mexico factory thing where they fucking wrap the wires through the part and then apply the solder, which is fucking idiotic. You just don't do that. So what you're left with is, when you're trying to desolder stuff, you're trying to desolder and unravel all these fucking wrapped wires. It's stupid, pointless, idiotic, and well, quite frankly, shit. Right, I'm going to pull up a wiring diagram now and have a look at how I want to do this. There's a number of different, I mean, if you go on the Fender website, there's actually a really great service area where there is literally every single wiring diagram for every model Fender guitar that they've ever produced. Okay, so on the Fender website, here we go. So we're doing a HSS Strat. So there's actually a ton of models that have that. This guitar that we're building up is a Floyd Rose Classic. There was a Floyd Rose Classic variant with HSS configuration, I'm almost certain. So let's see if that's there. Oh, there we go. Floyd Rose Classic Stratocaster, HH version and HSS, so we're right on the money there. And that diagram is dated on my birthday on the year 2000. Brilliant to do. Alright, so I'll probably splash some of this up so you can actually see it on the screen, but you get a nice diagram of the body of the guitar, little numbers that point out what all the various bits are, and then the second page there you've got all of the wiring stuff, a more detailed look at the switch, which is really helpful, and a look at the Floyd Rose tremolo there, and then a parts list, or a BOM as it's typically called, bill of materials. And then the last page there is your switching configurations and what does what. Alright, so I think my first job really is just to kind of mount all the parts onto the pick guard, so we've got some stuff to work with. I mean, I'm using all new pots for this, so they can go on. We've got our pickups loosened off now, so they can go on. Do you know what? This pick guard could have done with some countersinking for the pickup screws, but you know what? I'm not bothered. Up under these pick guards, you get two sheets of film crap on them. Well, there you go, look, see? One's coming off there, and then we've still got this other one. So let's take them both off. You know what, right? This reminds me of something that I see a lot in the guitar playing community, and do you know what? I see it more in the Fender Stratocaster players community than anywhere else, and that is people who buy brand new guitars and never take the fucking manufacturer's sticker off the pick guard and the protective film and all that, and then you see them, you know, up for sale later on saying, "Oh, still get the protective plastic and thing." No one gives a fuck about protective plastic on the fucking pick guard, right? Oh, it does my head in. Just play. If you're going to buy a guitar, play the fucking thing. Otherwise, give it to someone who will. so we're getting there. We've got our pickups mounted to our pick guard now. We've got a bit more wiring to be done. So for the moment, yeah, I'm just going to mount all of the pots and bits, and then we'll start actually wiring her up. So here we go. Okay, there we go. So we got our pick guard with all the plastics on it, pickups mounted and all that. It's looking quite good. You know what? I'm just going to be sneaky and I'm going to offer it up to the guitar just to have a quick look. So yeah, let's. I'm actually at the point now where I can start wiring things on. One thing you might have missed, because I think the camera ran out, was I've swapped the volume pot for a 500k as opposed to a 250 that I originally put in, because apparently this calls for a 500k on the volume and two 250s for the tones. So that's where we're at, and yeah, we're trying to get our head around where all these things need to go and how things need to be wired, and we're just going to work our way through it. Right, so at this point we've got our new pick guard all wired up. There you go. All the pickups are on, the knobs and switches and things are on, and now everything's wired up together. We've got the switch all wired in, the pots all wired in, we've got our capacitors on there, and all our wiring's all kind of tucked away, and I've test fitted it and it goes on nice and neat. So we're done. The only thing left to do now is to mount this onto the guitar, wire in all of the like trem claw grounds and the output grounds, and the main pot to the output, of course, the volume pot to the output, and the body ground, and that's it. But in the meantime, I want to give the body of the guitar, while it's free of all its gunk, a damn good clean, and before I put this on. So I'm going to have a tidy up, and then give that thing a clean, and then I'm not going to bother showing you the rest. I'll just kind of get it all together and come back when that's all been done. So alright, see you in a minute. So there we go, all done. HSS, all buttoned up, set up again. We've got the intonation done, we've got all the pickup balancing done. It's actually playing really nice, and more importantly, it works. Just screw down my tremolo on there. Let's decide it. There we go. I do like a Floyd Rose, I'll be honest with you. Alright, neck pickup. So this one's got some weird wiring configuration where it doesn't do what a normal 5-way switched Strat does. The top, what would normally just be the neck pickup position, is actually the neck pickup and apparently the humbucker as well. I'm not sure about that. Sounds very much like the neck pickup, but that's what the wiring diagram said. So. Nice anyway, it's punchy, it's bitey. It's got a bit of a warmth to it as well. And we'll try some overdrive tones in a minute. The next switch position in the middle, what would normally be the neck and the middle, is the neck and the middle in this case. It's nice, it's pinchy, it's got that chime. Yeah, very nice. then the middle one is just the middle pickup. So much overlooked middle pickup on a Strat. I really like it. For me, people like Robin Trower use it a lot, and it just adds, you get some of the bite from a neck pickup, some of the warmth from the neck pickup, and something else as well. It just adds something else to the flavour. Very nice. And then our next position is, I believe it's the middle and one half of the humbucker. Oh, hello. Anyway, I've not played that in years. It's got that twang to it, hasn't it? And then you've got the big humbucker fat birch on the end. And it's got some mighty crunch to it. Not quite enough drive for that. Should we give it a little bit of beans? Let's stick a tube screamer in front of the whole thing. Yes. Neck pickup. Yeah, I think we're happy with that. You know, it's got some great tones coming out of it, and it's an interesting combination of pickups that I didn't have before, and it does all that stuff. And it probably would even do a little bit of metal if we wanted it to. We could try that. Let's stick a triple rec on. Oh, woolly woof. Oh, that's with the neck pickup. Let's try the humbucker. So yeah, it does a bit of metal too. Right then, so wrapping up, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love mucking about with guitars. It's fun, isn't it? So yeah, I've took a decent set of pickups out of a weird guitar that kind of wasn't set up how it should be. Put them in a nice guitar that is now even better than it was before, and created a new style guitar with a new type of pickup configuration that I previously didn't have. I've kind of thrown a bit of extra variety into my collection. Very happy with that. Both come out sounding great, sounding wonderful. All went together pretty much how it should do. without too much hassle. So yeah, really happy, and you know, I hope some of the information that you might have learned through this, might have seen me, you know, talk about, was helpful in some way. If not, sorry, but I've had fun, I've enjoyed it, and I'll probably do something like this again soon. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you know, spread the love. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.